Hello, students. I'm going to finish up this coupling base in Onshape. If you need to watch it, this will be part B of the Onshape, the coupling base. So I've already put part A in Google Classroom for you. So let me share my screen with you. And we will get started here. Go to my Onshape, which I've got opened. And I've got the drawing open. So last time we finished the base part of this, and now we need to finish the drawing. So I'm on my sketch. I'm going to pick, at least I'm going to mix this because I'm not sure what it's got going. Sketch 2. I'm going to edit sketch 2. Yeah. And it looks like, yeah, this is the plane we want to be on. Okay. And now I'm ready to draw a line. I'm going to look at the front of this thing. And once I go draw a line, it should help me find the center of this object. If I hover over it, see how there's a box there? I'm going to pick on it. And it looks like I may have already drawn this line, but I'm going to go ahead and draw it again. Last one I drew from the top plane. This should be a 1 inch from the bottom. So I could draw it 1 inch up and dimension it. I'm going to escape this, and I'm just going to, means I know this base is a 1/2 inch. This line should be dimensioned at a 1/2 inch. So let's go D for dimension. And we'll pick on it. That should be 0.5. All right, that's the center point for my circles. So I'm going to now go to the circle command, pick on my endpoint, draw a small circle, and draw a big circle. Then D for dimension, we're going to size our circles. The inside one looks like it's a 0.5 diameter. Then I've got the outside one. It is 0.625 radius. We need to double that, don't we? So what's 0.625 times 2? Be an 1.25 inches. All right, so there it is. Now I want to draw lines tangent to our circles, then we trim, extrude, and we're basically done. So I'm going over to my center point, coming straight out, see the hidden line? That lets me know that I'm gonna be able to find that tangent point. And you see our little icons there showing that I'm tangent, and I'm coming down from there to our line. Same thing on the other side. I'm gonna escape. I could mirror it, couldn't I? I could do the same thing or use the mirror command. Let's use the mirror, being we haven't done that often. So I'm picking on the mirror command. I have to pick the mirror line first. So I've got this line in the middle that we started with. Now it says select what you want to mirror. And that's it. And it puts it over there. Now I'm ready to trim. So the quick key is M for trim. And I'm going to trim that part, right? And I think we've got it. I guess I could trim this line as well. I no longer need it, do I? All right, and let's finish our sketch. I'm going to go to my 3D ISO view, and we're going to extrude. So here's the extrude command. Pick on the part we want to extrude, and we want to take the arrow the other way, right? And that should only be a 1/2 inch thick as well. So on our depth here, 0.5. All right, finish our extrusion. We have got it. Looking at my object, there's nothing else to draw. So we're ready to take it in the title block. You remember how? We go to our plus symbol, right? And we create the drawing. And this one is not metric, so it's on the inch one, so I'll just okay it. It opens up the drawing. We want to bring in the front view and place it in the lower left-hand corner, right? Orthographic projection. Front view is always in the lower left. Top view is directly above it. And there's our part. Click on it. Let's see if it brings in the correct front view. Looks like it did. So there's the front view. I'm going to project up for my top view. Directly in line with it, right? And then I pick on it again, and I can get my right side view. One more time for our ISO view, as always. And we shade the ISO view. So I'm going to right click. Oh, I got to pick the view first. Pick, right click, and show shaded view. All right. It appears to me that these views could be a little bigger. So I'm going to pick on my front view, right click, and let's see what our options are here. View properties. I want to go 1-to-1. Right now it's 1-to-2, right? So let's see what a 1-to-1 looks like. I think that'll work if we make our ISO, our isometric view, half that size. Everything will fit. Oops, I didn't save it. Try that again. Back to view properties. I forgot to pick the green check, didn't I? We're going to go down arrow, 1-to-1, and green check. And then I'm coming back to my ISO view, and I'm going to view property, and I'm going to make it half size so everything fits 1-to-2. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we always want our drawing to be as big a scale as we can afford, you know, that will fit in the title block, just for viewing purposes. And that way it keeps us from making mistakes, right? So we've got it 1-to-1 right now. I'm going to delete the scale here. We don't need that. That would be in our title block. So I'm just going to pick the delete button and delete button and delete button and delete button. So in our scale, we would have the proper scale there. I need to move this view down a little bit so it fits in the title block. Looks like it enlarged it again, didn't it? So I'm going to have to see what's up with that. View orientation, view properties again. I forgot to pick. I'm rushing too much, guys. Let's pick on the check mark, and that gives me more room for everything. Okay, so before we dimension, what do we got to do? We're missing some stuff, right? We got to finish the 3 views before we dimension. We need to show all hidden lines and all center lines. All 3 views, I believe, have some of each. So let's start with our front view. And let's show hidden. Okay, and our top view, right click, show hidden. Got the circle, right? And our side view, we're missing the circle. Show hidden. Okay, we've got all our hidden lines in. Now it's time for center lines. Remember how to do it? Let's see here. Where are our center lines? Oops, got to refresh here. Refresh the browser. Come on now. That's a little slow, a little laggy. It's teaching me patience. There it is. All right, so here are our center line commands. I like to start with the center line on the view that shows the circle. So I'm going to zoom in there, and I'm going to pick on my end point of the center line, and it goes right through the center of the object horizontally and also vertically. I don't have this arc anymore, so I'm going to go with the small circle in this direction. There we go. And now we can dimension to that. Now our hidden circles, though, we need to pick the bisector, okay? So there it is. Gonna go over and bisect these two hidden lines, and it puts it in there for us. And on the top, same thing. Pick the two hidden lines, and it bisects. Now we are ready for dimensions. Do you remember the progression I've been teaching you for dimensioning? We want to dimension arcs and circles first on the view that shows the true shape. So that narrows it down to one view. So our front view is the view that shows these the circle and the arc. So let's dimension that there first. So D for dimension, and we use our leader line. We're coming out through the circle, and then I'll do the arc as well. Okay. Now, where else do we have arcs and circles? Top view, right? Shows them as visible. We're missing a couple center lines there I forgot about, so let's put those in. I am going to go vertical. I guess let's escape that, do that again. I can go out to the edge of the arc, can't I? So right there to there, and then we could pick on the arc here and come across. I think I've got it. I may have missed the exact point. Okay, it doesn't like that. Escape. Let's see. Let's just go 2-point center line. I'm going to see if it'll let me pick points here. Means I don't have a point to go to. I guess I could go all the way over. That would be one way to solve it, right? And then I'm going vertical again. And that's my center points. Now, let's do D for dimension. Get our two arcs sized. And we also need to know how far it is from center to center, right? So that's only shown on the top view. So we've got to place that one there as well. And I'm pulling it down a little bit because I'm going to need to do this gap inside of it. The long dimensions go outside the shorter dimensions. So we've done all of our arcs and circles, and there are no angles. So now we're going with the shortest dimensions on the view that shows the shape. We want to try to balance the dimensions on each of the views. So I'm going to place my dimension here and here on the right side view. That'll get a couple dimensions on it, right? We could also do the overall height on the right side view, and that will once again help us balance our dimensions. I'm going to go with the notch on this view since it's only shown true size on this view. What else do we need to be able to manufacture this drawing in the shop? Can you see some dimensions we're missing? Whatever dimensions are on your handout need to be on one of the three views. For example, I don't know where this center circle, if I were manufacturing this in the shop, I wouldn't know where to drill, right? So we need that height. So I'm going to pick here to our center line. Now we would know that that's 1 inch from the base. What else? Can you see any dimensions we're missing? How about, it's customary to give the overall height and depth and length. Now our depth could be double the 1 inch, right? So we could do that, or we could give it here. It's best that we don't leave dimensions off and then they have to calculate it because of the chance of error. So it is best to put those overall dimensions on. We don't want to repeat dimensions, but I believe that would do it. Do you remember how to turn it in? Come down here to the that little magnifying glass there, pick on it. And then you pick on your drawing right here and right click, export. Okay, and you're going to export the file. You can put the drawing name here. So we're going to call this coupling base. And we want it as a PDF. And let's see, let's just export. And I believe it comes up in your window right there. And then we can open that, export. And I like to place it on my desktop so then I can drag and drop it into the assignment in Google Classroom. So I'm going to download the export, right? And onto my desktop. It's got the name there, everything's set. Okay, so we just took it to the desktop. Let's go see if it's there, if this will let me. I'm going to minimize this. I should see it on my desktop now. And there it is, coupling base. So I could drag and drop that into Google Classroom nice and easy. All right, so guys, that's basically everything. If you needed that help, you now should be able to do the coupling base if you're struggling. Some of you are getting good enough where you don't need videos anymore, and kudos to you. But I'm going to stop my share here, and I will see you for the next assignment.